Welcome to a journey through time. Economics is the study of how people make decisions in a world of scarcity. It dictates how governments function, how businesses thrive, and how individuals make choices in their daily lives. From barter systems to global trade, economics shapes our world. We'll uncover the origins of economic thought and trace its evolution over millennia. Get ready to delve into the fascinating history of economics. Let's unravel the mysteries of how this vital field came to be and discover its profound impact on human civilization. Our story begins at the dawn of humanity. Small tribes roamed the earth, hunting and gathering for sustenance. As tribes grew and interacted, they discovered the benefits of specialization. This realization led to the earliest forms of trade, the barter system. Tribes began exchanging goods they had in abundance for those they lacked. Barter had its limitations, making trade cumbersome and inefficient. This need for a more sophisticated system gave rise to one of humanity's most transformative inventions, currency. The invention of currency marked a pivotal moment in economic history. Early forms of currency, often commodities like grain or livestock, evolved into coins and eventually paper money. With currency as a common denominator, markets began to flourish. Trade routes, like the famed Silk Road, connected empires and continents. Goods, ideas, and cultures flowed across these routes, fostering economic and cultural exchange. Governments began to play a more prominent role, establishing laws, enforcing contracts, and levying taxes. The stage was set for the emergence of more complex economic systems and the development of economic thought. Imagine a time before money. Early societies relied on barter as the primary means of exchange. Barter had inherent limitations, making trade cumbersome and inefficient. People needed a common medium of exchange to simplify trade and facilitate economic growth. This need led to a revolutionary innovation: currency. The transition from barter to currency was gradual and organic. Certain goods, valued for their usefulness and relative scarcity, emerged as preferred mediums of exchange. Livestock, particularly cattle, was one such commodity. The invention of coinage marked a significant leap forward. The first coins, attributed to the Lydians, were made of electrum, a naturally occurring alloy of gold and silver. These coins, stamped with official seals to guarantee their weight and purity, revolutionized trade. The adoption of currency, particularly coinage, brought about profound changes in economic activity. With a standardized medium of exchange, people could easily compare prices, negotiate transactions, and accumulate wealth. Currency facilitated specialization and division of labor, leading to increased productivity and economic growth. Temples and later banks emerged as custodians of wealth, providing safe storage for coins and facilitating larger transactions. These institutions played a crucial role in lending, investment, and the expansion of credit, further stimulating economic activity. The advent of currency and the growth of trade fueled the rise of markets. Marketplaces transformed into vibrant centers of economic activity. They became hubs where buyers and sellers converged. Prices were determined through supply and demand, and goods flowed from producers to consumers. The development of markets facilitated competition, innovation, and economic efficiency. The rise of markets marked a significant shift from subsistence-based economies to more complex and interconnected systems. As trade flourished and societies grew more complex, thinkers and philosophers began to ponder the forces that governed economic activity. In ancient Greece, Plato and Aristotle explored concepts of justice, fairness, and the role of the state in regulating commerce. In ancient China, philosophers like Confucius and Mencius explored concepts of social harmony, good governance, and the role of the state in promoting economic prosperity. These early thinkers grappled with fundamental economic questions about trade, justice, and the role of the state in shaping economic outcomes. Their ideas influenced the development of economic thought in both the East and the West. The late Middle Ages and the Renaissance witnessed a resurgence of trade, exploration, and the growth of nation-states. This period saw the emergence of mercantilism, a dominant economic doctrine that shaped European policies for centuries. Mercantilists believed that national wealth was measured by the accumulation of gold and silver reserves. They advocated for policies that promoted exports, restricted imports, and sought to secure colonies as sources of raw materials and markets for finished goods. Mercantilist policies often involved government intervention in the economy, granting monopolies, imposing tariffs, and subsidizing domestic industries. One key figure in the development of mercantilist thought was Jean-Baptiste Colbert, finance minister to King Louis XIV of France. While mercantilism contributed to the growth of national economies and the expansion of trade, it also sowed the seeds of protectionism and economic rivalry. The 18th century witnessed the Enlightenment, an intellectual and philosophical movement that emphasized reason, individualism, and free inquiry. Enlightenment thinkers challenged traditional authority, including the tenets of mercantilism. This period marked the birth of classical economics, a school of thought that revolutionized our understanding of how economies function. One of the pioneers of classical economics was Adam Smith, whose seminal work, The Wealth of Nations, laid the foundation for modern economic thought. Smith argued that individuals pursuing their self-interest in a free market are led by an invisible hand to promote the well-being of society as a whole. Another influential figure was David Ricardo, who developed the theory of comparative advantage. These ideas challenged mercantilist dogma and paved the way for a new era of free trade and economic liberalism. Adam Smith's The Wealth of Nations, published in 1776, is considered the foundational text of modern economics. Smith identified three key factors that drive economic growth: the division of labor, specialization, and free trade. He argued that by breaking down production processes into smaller, specialized tasks, workers become more efficient, leading to increased output. This specialization, combined with free trade, allows individuals and nations to focus on producing goods and services where they have a comparative advantage. Smith's ideas had a profound impact on economic policy, influencing the rise of laissez-faire capitalism and the dismantling of mercantilist restrictions on trade. His work laid the groundwork for the Industrial Revolution, a period of unprecedented economic growth and technological innovation. Let's journey back to the cradle of civilization, ancient Mesopotamia. The Sumerians, renowned for their ingenuity, developed a sophisticated system of writing, mathematics, and law. With cuneiform writing, they recorded transactions, tracked debts, and managed complex trade networks. The Code of Hammurabi established rules and regulations for economic activity, protecting property rights and enforcing contracts. The Sumerians produced surplus grain, textiles, and pottery, which they traded for raw materials like timber, stone, and metals. This trade fueled economic growth and enabled the Sumerians to build impressive cities like Ur and Uruk, centers of commerce and culture. Our journey through the ancient world takes us now to the banks of the Nile River, the lifeblood of ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians harnessed the Nile's bounty to create an economic powerhouse. They developed sophisticated irrigation systems, maximizing agricultural output and producing surplus grain, flax, and papyrus. The ancient Egyptians traded extensively with their neighbors, exchanging their agricultural produce and manufactured goods for gold, ivory, timber, and exotic goods from distant lands. They established trade routes along the Nile, across the Mediterranean Sea, and into the heart of Africa. This trade brought wealth, resources, and cultural exchange to Egypt, contributing to its economic and cultural prosperity. Section 3. Ancient Greece. The marketplace of ideas. Our exploration of ancient economies brings us to the shores of the Aegean Sea, the cradle of democracy and the birthplace of Western philosophy, ancient Greece. Here, amidst the bustling city-states of Athens, Sparta, Corinth, and Thebes, a new economic order emerged, one driven by trade, innovation, and the pursuit of knowledge. The Greeks, with their seafaring prowess, established themselves as masters of maritime trade. Their ships, laden with olive oil, wine, pottery, and textiles, sailed across the Mediterranean, Black and Aegean seas, connecting Greece to distant lands and fostering economic and cultural exchange. The ancient Greeks embraced the concept of the marketplace not only as a center for commerce, but also as a forum for the exchange of ideas. In the bustling agora of Athens, philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle debated ethics, politics, and yes, even economics, shaping Western thought for centuries to come. The Greeks recognized the importance of specialization and the division of labor, with different city-states focusing on producing goods and services where they had a comparative advantage. Athens, for example, became renowned for its silver mines, its pottery, and its intellectual pursuits, while Sparta focused on military prowess and agriculture. This specialization, combined with robust trade networks, fueled economic growth and prosperity throughout the Greek world. As Section 4, Roman rule, a world united by commerce. From the bustling city-states of ancient Greece, our journey takes us to the heart of an empire that stretched from the British Isles to the banks of the Euphrates River, ancient Rome. The Romans, renowned for their military might, engineering prowess, and legal system, also excelled in commerce, creating a vast economic network that united much of the known world. Under the Pax Romana, a period of unprecedented peace and stability, trade flourished throughout the Roman Empire. Roman roads, marvels of engineering, crisscrossed the empire, connecting distant provinces and facilitating the movement of goods, people, and ideas. Roman legions stationed throughout the empire provided security for trade routes, ensuring the safe passage of goods and merchants. Roman law, with its emphasis on property rights and contract enforcement, provided a stable framework for economic activity, fostering trust and encouraging investment. The Roman Empire, with its vast network of roads, its common currency, and its legal system, created a single integrated market, facilitating the flow of goods and services from one end of the empire to the other. This economic integration contributed to the prosperity and stability of the Roman world, making it a model of economic success in the ancient world. Section 5. The Silk Road, a tapestry of trade and culture. Our journey along the iconic Silk Road reveals a network spanning over 4,000 miles linking east and west. This route facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures between civilizations like the Roman Empire, Persia, India, and China. Named for the luxurious silk from China, it carried spices, porcelain, jade, ivory, textiles, and glassware. Cities like Samarkand and Xi'an flourished as centers of commerce and cultural exchange. The Silk Road facilitated the transmission of knowledge, technology, and religious beliefs. This exchange had a lasting impact on the development of civilizations, highlighting the profound influence of trade on human history. As we transition from the ancient world to the modern era, we encounter a pivotal development in economic history, the birth of modern banking. While banking in its earliest forms existed in ancient civilizations, it was during the late Middle Ages and the Renaissance that banking systems as we know them today began to take shape. In Italy, cities like Florence, Venice, and Genoa, hubs of trade and commerce, saw the emergence of powerful banking families, such as the Medici and the Fugas. These families established sophisticated banking houses that offered a range of financial services, including deposit banking, loans, currency exchange, and even early forms of international finance. One key innovation of this era was the development of double-entry bookkeeping. This accounting method, which revolutionized financial record-keeping, allowed bankers to track assets, liabilities, and equity with greater accuracy and transparency. This innovation, coupled with the expansion of trade and the growing demand for credit, fueled the growth of banking across Europe. The invention of the printing press in the 15th century further revolutionized banking. The ability to mass-produce paper money, along with financial instruments like bills of exchange, facilitated larger and more complex transactions, expanding the reach and influence of banking institutions. These developments laid the groundwork for the modern financial systems that underpin today's global economy. Our journey now takes us to the heart of the 18th century, a period of unprecedented technological innovation and economic transformation, the Industrial Revolution. This era, which began in Britain and spread rapidly, witnessed a fundamental shift from agrarian economies to industrial ones. The invention of new machines, such as the steam engine, the spinning jenny, and the power loom, revolutionized production processes. Factories powered by coal and steam replaced workshops, concentrating production in urban centers. Mass production made goods more affordable, raising living standards for many. However, the Industrial Revolution also brought about social and economic challenges. The rise of factories created a new class of industrial workers, often subjected to harsh conditions, leading to labor movements. The Industrial Revolution ushered in unprecedented economic growth, but also exacerbated social and economic inequalities. Wealth concentrated in the hands of factory owners contrasted sharply with the dire conditions of workers. This disparity fueled the rise of new economic ideologies, most notably capitalism and socialism. Capitalism, championed by Adam Smith, advocated for free markets and minimal government intervention. Socialism critiqued capitalism's exploitation and inequality, proposing collective ownership. The debate between these ideologies shaped political movements and revolutions worldwide. Today, societies still grapple with balancing economic growth, social justice, and individual freedom. The early 20th century witnessed a period of economic prosperity and technological advancement, particularly in the United States. However, this era of prosperity came to a crashing halt with the onset of the Great Depression in 1929. The stock market crash of that year triggered a global economic downturn, characterized by widespread unemployment, bank failures, and a sharp decline in industrial production. The Great Depression challenged the prevailing economic orthodoxy of the time, classical economics, which argued that markets were self-correcting and that government intervention in the economy should be minimal. It was in this context that John Maynard Keynes, a British economist, emerged as a leading voice, offering a new economic framework to address the crisis. Keynes, in his seminal work, The General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money, argued that governments had a crucial role to play in managing the economy, particularly during times of recession or depression. He advocated for government spending and intervention to stimulate demand, create jobs, and stabilize the economy. Keynesian economics, as his ideas came to be known, revolutionized economic thought and policy, providing the intellectual foundation for the New Deal programs implemented by President Franklin D. Roosevelt in the United States, and for similar government interventions in other countries. The latter half of the 20th century witnessed a remarkable period of economic growth and technological advancement, fueled by the rise of globalization and the information age. Globalization, characterized by the increasing interconnectedness of national economies through trade, investment, and the flow of capital, labor, and information, transformed the global economic landscape. The development of new technologies, particularly in transportation and communication, facilitated the rapid movement of goods, services, and ideas across borders, creating new opportunities for trade and investment. Multinational corporations emerged as key players in the global economy, establishing production facilities and supply chains that spanned continents. The information age, driven by the rapid development and proliferation of computers, the internet, and mobile technologies, further accelerated globalization, connecting people and businesses across vast distances in real time. This technological revolution created new industries, business models, and employment opportunities, transforming the nature of work and the way we live, communicate, and interact with the world. The rise of globalization and the information age brought about unprecedented economic growth and prosperity, but also presented new challenges, including income inequality, job displacement due to automation, and concerns about the environmental impact of globalization. Navigating these complexities remains a key challenge for economists and policymakers in the 21st century. As we conclude our journey through the history of economics, we stand in awe of the intricate tapestry woven by countless individuals, innovations, and ideas. From barter to today's global economy, the evolution of economics is remarkable. Currency revolutionized trade, markets became vibrant centers of exchange, and economic thought evolved with each era's challenges. The legacy of ancient traders, philosophers, and modern pioneers is imprinted on our world. Their insights into markets, innovation, and global interconnectedness shape our lives today. The foundations they laid enable unprecedented prosperity and advancement. The story of economics is a living narrative, continuing to unfold before our eyes. As we face new challenges, from climate change to technological disruption, we draw inspiration from economic history. Understanding these forces helps us navigate the present and create a more prosperous future for all. Economics, unlike a static monument, is a dynamic, ever-evolving science. It's a continuous process of inquiry, debate, and refinement, as economists grapple with new challenges, test existing theories, and develop new models to understand the complexities of human behavior in the face of scarcity. The journey of economics is not a linear progression, but rather a winding path filled with detours, revolutions, and paradigm shifts. from the classical economics of Adam Smith to the Keynesian revolution, from the rise of behavioral economics to the complexities of modern monetary policy. Each era has brought forth new insights, challenged old assumptions, and pushed the boundaries of our understanding. The beauty of economics lies in its ability to adapt and evolve, to incorporate new data, and to refine its models to better reflect the realities of a constantly changing world. It's a field driven by curiosity, a thirst for knowledge, and a desire to address the fundamental challenges facing humanity. As we move forward, we can be certain that economics will continue to evolve, driven by the ingenuity and creativity of those who seek to understand and shape the world around us. The future of economics is not predetermined. It's something we actively shape through our choices, policies, and actions. The insights we've gained from studying economic history provide us with valuable tools to navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. As we confront issues such as climate change, income inequality, and technological disruption, our understanding of economics will be crucial in crafting effective solutions. We must embrace the principles that have driven economic progress throughout history: innovation, entrepreneurship, free trade, and a commitment to sound economic policies. By fostering a culture of innovation, we can unlock new technologies and solutions to address pressing global challenges. By promoting entrepreneurship, we can empower individuals to create new businesses, generate jobs, and drive economic growth. By embracing free trade, we can unlock opportunities for all nations to benefit from specialization, comparative advantage, and access to global markets. And by implementing sound economic policies, we can create an environment that fosters stability, growth, and opportunity for all. The future of economics is ultimately in our hands. By learning from the past, embracing the present, and shaping the future, we can create a world where economic prosperity is shared by all.